My day begins well before most people are out of bed. All the long days and sleepless nights drive me to be the best.
We absolutely slayed them in here.
Alright, let's get up here and we'll turn them loose.
He's got the place tore up. The sun's going down. We got one more farm to hit. That's commitment there.
We've been turning them up. This is 8. Pretty good odds.
We're good at what we do.
This is my story. This is my time. This is trapping time.
Trapping Time is brought to you by Blind Turtle at blindturtle.net, Smokey's Deer Lures at smokiesdeerlure.com, Blackwater Hunting Services at blackwaterhunting.com, Southern Ohio Outfitters at southernohiooutfitters.com, Papio Creek Trapping Supply at papiocreektrappingsupply.com, Big Game Gut Glove at biggamegutglove.com, Hunters Help Technologies at huntershelp.com, Night Owl Lures at nightowllures.com, Hilltop Outdoor Supply at hilltopoutdoorsupply.com, Dakota Line Snares at dakotalinesnares.com, PCS Outdoors at pcsoutdoors.com, Duke Trap Company at duketraps.com, Old South Trapping Lures at oldsouthLures.com, Webster's Predator Control at shop.websterspredatorcontrol.com, Little Whiskey Girl at littlewhiskeygirl.com, Wolf Creek Products at wolfcreekproducts.net, Southern Snares and Supply at southernsnares.com, Lennon Lures at lennonlures.com, Murray's Trapping Supply at murrayslures.com, Smitty's Stretchers and Trapping Supplies. Look them up on Facebook. Hags Brand Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors at j30.com.
Hello folks and welcome to this week's show. This week on Trapping Time, we're seeing double. We're chasing two of my favorite things, coyotes and cats. I'm going to take you on a couple of my favorite doubles from last season.
Well, we just caught a coyote, which was pretty cool, wasn't it, boys?
Yeah.
And these animals, they're really starting to move good right now. We got a cold front coming in here, and it's insane. It's 14 degrees right now. If anybody that knows me, I like to focus on these access roads. You know, here in get that seatbelt, that dinger. Every trapper out there's felt my struggle not putting their seatbelt on when they're driving on these access roads. All right. So anyway, we're gonna come down these roads. I like to sit right off. I have permission from the landowners. You know, these are gated properties. I sit right off the edge of the road. These animals are lazy when it comes to this kind of stuff, and it's too convenient. They're gonna hunt. They're gonna travel. These are perfect travel ways. Anytime I can get a bend in the road, something just catches my eye, and I always say, if it catches my eye, chances are it's going to catch their eye. Well, boys, look what's up there. What do we got?
2 bobcats.
2 bobcats. So we're having us a pretty good morning for their first time on a trap line. We caught a coyote and 2 bobcats. Now these bobcats were both caught in dirt hell type sets. They're not monster cats. They're nice cats though, but probably going to go close to 20 pounds a piece, maybe just a hair under. But I caught the one. I know I caught the one in a small dirt hole, and the other one was a mouse nest set. So we're going to take and get a closer look at these cats. I caught a coyote here earlier in the year, and a real nice coyote. So, boy, them are pretty cats.
Yeah.
They're all furred out.
Right.
Oh, they're nice looking cats.
These look like some pretty nice bobcats. Let's see how these boys react to having these cats in their laps.
That one's bigger than that one. You got a white one too, white and black. This one's trying to go downhill.
Stay back, boys.
He's trying to go downhill.
All right, now if you look how close I set these traps, they're probably not 8 to 10 feet apart. We've got a nice little travel way right here, brushy on both sides. These animals love to work these type areas. These aren't monster cats, but the markings on them are beautiful. They're really nice cats. I'm gonna show these boys how to remake this set. Now I'm pulling my line. This was the last set, and that's what we're doing today. We're pulling a line for this particular property. We're still early in the season, but we're pulling this one. I'm gonna show these boys how to remake one of these sets. That way, when they start running their own trap line, they can show me how to catch these cats someday.
When we come back, we're gonna get this set remade, and I'm gonna show these boys how it was done. The Hole Getter by Papio Creek. It's all about speed and efficiency.
The Big Game Gut Glove is revolutionizing the way big game hunters and trappers are successful in the field. The 26-inch version fits over your elbows and protects you and your expensive hunting clothing from blood or cold water. They're made to fit your hands from extra small to extra large.
What I like about them, I can feel with them.
Existing products on the market don't give you the feel or protection you need. Wet or dry, the special non-slip grip bonds tightly to whatever you're handling. The Big Game Gut Gloves are reusable so you save money and promote going green. You take every step to make sure your hunt is safe. Now, take safety to the next level and make sure your field dressing is as safe as the hunt. Hunters Help Technologies has found a way to make sure your post-hunt responsibilities are as safe as possible. The Easy Gut tool helps you get the chest cavity open without cutting anything but that skin that you want to cut. The trachea cutter does just what it says. You just reach into the chest cavity and punch right through that tough trachea. No more fumbling with a knife to try to avoid cutting yourself in the process. You can find all our products at huntershelp.com.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Animalistic Outdoors. Check them out at coyotevideos.net.
Welcome back. Now we're going to get this set remade. Now normally, you folks sitting at home, you're my audience. But today, I got Hayden and Dalton with me. They're my audience. You know, these young boys wanted to learn about trapping. I had the opportunity to take them out. So I wanted to show them step by step what it took to put these cats' paws in the traps. So if they ever decided to trap themselves, they know what it was all about.
First thing I'm going to do is get all this garbage out of here. Now if you look, once we get this out of here, if you look at this trap, it's got a swivel right here. When those animals get caught, we want this trap to be able to move. We don't want to be able to get any kind of pressure, you know, to pull it out. So we're just going to come in here, use our tools of the trade. We always got these trowels here, and we're going to take and dig this out.
Now, even though we were pulling traps that day, I had the opportunity to share some of my knowledge with these boys. Now, if you're listening, I am simplifying the whole setup as much as I possibly can. This is their first exposure to trapping, so I wanted to keep it as simple, keep their interest, and really get that fire fueled up so they'd want to go out with me again.
We got our trap bed here, and this is where we're going to put our traps. We're going to bury these traps in the ground. We'll cover them up so when the animal comes in to smell it, that's when it gets caught. We'll make sure, we're making sure our trap's working good, and then we're going to set it. Now, I like these small traps because they don't do a lot of damage to the animal, so if you happen to catch somebody's pet or, you know, you wouldn't want your guys' dogs getting caught in a trap and getting hurt, would you? So you use a smaller trap. That way if you do, it's not going to hurt them.
You know, at the end of every week of every episode, I always break in with, you know, till next time, we're keeping the tradition alive here at Trapping Time. Well, the tradition is these kids. You know, we have the opportunity to get the youth involved in trapping. And when I say that, you know, that's the tradition. They're the future of this sport. So I had the opportunity to take these boys, and I love working with young people like this because they don't have an opinion on trapping. They don't know what's right, they don't know what's wrong. So you can instill some of your values and your techniques in them, and it's like a sponge, and they just soak it all up.
We just want to kind of blend it in a little bit. We'll pull our driver out. Maybe. The ground's frozen. Can you guys see that hole in there? That's where we're going to put our bait. The way it almost looks like a mouse has been coming up and down through here. And what do bobcats eat? Mice. They're going to come up in here, check it out. When they come to investigate, what's going to happen? They're going to come up through here. They're going to stick their nose in here, and bam. We just caught us a bobcat. Hey, I'm glad you guys got to come with me today. Dalton's actually in class with my daughter Peyton, so they'll have something to talk about at school today, won't they? All right, fellas, I'm glad you got to come with me. Maybe you guys can come again, or I can follow you guys on your own trap line. Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Hey boys, I want to thank you for joining with me that day. Anytime I get a chance to take a kid out, I love it. I absolutely love it. When we come back, we're going to join up with Mark Steck, and he's going to show us one of his favorite coyote sets on the edge of a cornfield on the Duke Trap Company Set of the Week.
Who better to get your trapping supplies from than trappers who know what you need in the field?
Come on in.
PCS Outdoors is one-stop shopping for name brand trapping, predator hunting and calling supplies, shooting and pest control gear at discount prices.
A lure for every animal you'd be targeting.
PCS Outdoors stands above the competition.
Quality Asabo brand snares being made here in Michigan.
Go to PCSOutdoors.com for great selection and prices that'll make you want to stock up for your next trapping or outdoor adventure.
What do you demand in a quality knife? You want a knife that works as hard as you do. Weeby knives are made for trappers who want efficiency and perfection. The Weeby Elite double-edged fleshing knife has one edge that's ultra sharp, and the other side has just the right edge for pushing fat and meat for perfectly fleshed furs. And don't forget about the Weeby Wicked Sharp, the planet's sharpest skinner. When the blade goes dull, simply snap on a new one, and you're ready to go. Find them at DakotaLineSnares.com.
Where'd you get all that stuff?
DakotaLineSnares.com.
I bet it cost you a fortune to ship all that.
Nope, not DakotaLineSnares.com. It's $9.95. Flat rate, it doesn't matter what you get.
Dakota Line Snares and Trapping Products has everything you need right at your fingertips. Our warehouse is packed with trapping supplies you need to be successful on your trap line, and with flat rate shipping of $9.95 on all orders, you get your money's worth.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm going to put my order in at DakotaLineSnares.com now.
Welcome back. Now let's join up with Mark Steck from Dakota Line Snares. He's in South Dakota, and he's sharing some of his coyote knowledge on the Duke Trap Company Set of the Week.
Okay, we're going to put in a dirt hole set for coyotes here, and I'm kind of along a little edge that they like to walk. I've trapped this spot for a number of years, and so we'll get started here. I like to make my dirt holes first. Some guys bed their traps first. And I like to make my holes as deep as possible. I learned early on in canine trapping that not only do they hunt by their noses, they hunt by sight too. Now we got backing here, and if you can, you like some type of backing that keeps them, it discourages them from working around the back. Okay, we got a pretty decent hole in there. Now we're going to make our trap bed. Okay, I brought my own dirt with me. This is wax dirt, and you can use whatever you like. If you're in an area that doesn't get real cold, you probably don't need anything. Just have dry dirt on hand in case you really get a bad rain. But I'm just going to pour this. The water will bead right up on this, and then if you don't have wax dirt or something, what happens then is the dirt will freeze on you. Okay, now I like to know where my pan's at. I got my pan right here, and the lever of the trap is right here, and I'm going to bed around it. I learned this technique. I've used a different technique for years, but I saw Andy Weiser do this. I spent some time with him this fall. And you put your hand over the lever of that trap. And then you just bed in like that. There is absolutely no rocking. Again, I know where that pan's at. We got a little work to do here. We're gonna put a few stepping stones or dirt clods in. There's a lot of talk out there, the pan should go here or should go here. And my theory is the pan's gonna go, the trap's gonna go where it fits in good, and then I'm gonna make that critter just step around a bit. Put a few dirt clods, and this set's gonna look pretty rough by the time I'm done. And here's why I want that. Coyotes are very skittish. Right now you can see you got a set that looks pretty unnatural. That's fine for fox. It's perfect for fox. But coyotes, that's gonna make them wary. They're skittish, they're nervous, they're survivors, and they're gonna see this dirt here that doesn't look natural to the surroundings, the color and so forth, the pattern. And so we're gonna roughen this up a little bit. It's called blending. Slim Peterson once told me, he said that he thinks that's the most important thing in coyote trapping is blending, making it look like the surrounding area. Like I say, fox trapping, it isn't that big a deal. They seem to work just small patterns where you can just tell where the trap's underneath there. Now we got this trap. We don't have dirt clods on that trap, but you know, this looks fresh, and that's okay, but the whole area around it looks like that. Now, except for some scents we're going to put on there, this set is done. You blend out. You blend outward. And my sets always look rough like that. I like that. Okay, we're going to put a little bait in here. This is half horse, half devil. It's the base of horse meat. I love this stuff. That's good. And if you're in the fall, when you've got some of these bugs around that eat up this stuff, it don't hurt to put quite a bit down there. You want it down in there, plenty far. I can leave this set here for a long time, and it's still going to smell fine. I've left sets for a month and they finally connect. But this set here is ready to go.
Thanks, Mark. That was a lot of coyote knowledge right there. When we come back, we're headed to Ohio, and I'm going to show you what I like to call a poor man's double. I'll explain when we come back.
For some of us, trapping season never ends. It's in our blood. It defines the very person we are. Let Southern Snares be part of your trapping world. Be sure to try out our best-selling capital punishment predator bait and our new pure gator oil.
Do you need a blind that will keep you warm on a cold winter day? Do you need a blind that won't blow away on a windy fall afternoon? Do you need a blind that will never wear out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need a Blind Turtle hard-shell hunting blind. This solid one-piece unit is perfect for deer hunters, turkey hunters, archery hunters, and gun hunters. Put it this way, if you hunt, the Blind Turtle is perfect for you.
The trophy moment only lasts a couple of seconds, but the story will be passed on for generations. They only see the glory, not the sacrifice. But I don't wait for my tall tale of glory. I handcraft my journey from start to finish. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors. An epic saga is worth 1,000 words, but my story boils down to 3. Little Whiskey Girl. Save luck for the weekend hunter.
If you ever look in the Trapper's Dictionary and looked under the definition of poor man's double, you're going to see it's going to say coyote and basically anything else. I always consider a poor man's double to be a raccoon, a possum, or even a skunk. And that is the definition of a poor man's double.
Right up here where we're going to, about 2 years ago, we were slaying the coyotes in here. Last year I never caught a coyote, number one. Caught some big coons in here. But it's one of them places that you just always want to set it. Now I got a coon in there and we got us a dog. All right, we've got a real nice coyote here. And like I always say before, if this was smell-o-vision, you'd have no trouble smelling him at all. Guys, this is just a 175 Duke. You don't need a monster trap to hold these coyotes. We got enough pad catch in there. He's not going anywhere. We're kind of fighting daylight here, so we want to try and get these sets made as fast as we can. And you're going to find that when you're trapping, anything to speed up the process is definitely going to increase your catch. Now we've got our freezing and thawing happen like we always do this time of year, so we're going to deal with mud. Now you guys all know that I use my cookie cutter. If you look at that trap bed, still got the outline right there. It's going to take very little to get it ready to get this trap back in the ground. Usually what I have to do in this situation, I'll just take my hammer and pound it out because he's had some mud shoved down in there. So just kind of pound that back down in there again. Check, you always want to inspect your trap, make sure it's good. Got a little blood on it. Doesn't really bother me too much. I don't like excessive blood, but a little bit is not going to bother you at all. Take your water grass and get it out of there. Make sure our dogs and everything look good. I want my pan as level as I possibly can get it. I don't night latch. There's no need for it. I set so many traps, I know exactly where to put it at. All right, we pound that. A lot of times those earth anchors, they'll pull a little bit. All right, we're ready to bed this baby. Throw a little peat moss in the bottom. It's warm tonight, but it's going to start freezing and thawing again. Cookie cutter in. Trap's bedded, solid. That thing is not going anywhere. Going to peat moss back on top of it again. Now a lot of times I'll just leave this peat out, but because it's so tore up, and I love remakes because there's already been a coyote here one time. You know there's going to come back. Other coyotes are going to investigate it. So we're going to take some of this grass here. We'll cover that bad boy back in again. All right, the set itself is pretty much done. We're gonna take our, usually I can find that, but we're not gonna find it today. He messed it up pretty good. So we're gonna drive a new one in. This is what I call a micro dirt hole. Just take your driver, drive it in, do a little ream just to get it out. Don't worry about backing. He's naturally going to come in from this side. Just don't even worry about it. Even if he circles around it, we still got him. That's one reason I keep the angle kind of steep. If you look at that, the 45-degree angle that you always hear everyone talk about, keep it a little bit steeper. I always use a 5-gallon bucket when I describe this set. If I got this 5-gallon bucket and I put a $5 bill down in the middle of it, what are you going to have to do to see it? The closer you get, the easier it is to see down in the middle of it. That's my theory with these sets like this. Make them a little bit steeper. A little bit steeper, you don't have to worry about being so specific on how far your trap pan is back from the hole. So we've got plenty of coyotes in here, so we're not even going to waste gland lure by putting it back in here. But we are going to take in, let me see, I'm going to take a little rabbit urine. We're going to give that a squirt. Don't underestimate the power of rabbit urine. And we're going to, let me see what else. So many choices. So many choices. Alright, we're going to take a little Mark Stex lure here. And just drop a little bit down in here. Don't overlure, guys. Everybody worries about, it takes coyotes so long. They're not working my sets. They're working them from 10 feet away. They can smell it. If that's strong, they don't have to come investigate it. So don't overlure. Those right there, that's a finished set. We'll get our stuff out of here and we're going to head on down to the next one. We're going to take this coon out of here, and it's coyote trapping at its finest. You know, doubles come in many forms. Whether it's a coyote double, the cat double, or even my poor man's double this week, they're all a lot of fun. That's why we set 2 traps. You know, until next time, like we always say, we're keeping the tradition alive here at Trapping Time. You know, everyone always asks me when I catch a poor man's double, which one did you catch first? I don't know. But you know, if I'm that coon, I'm sitting there, I'm probably thinking one of 2 things. One, boy, I'm glad that coyote got caught. Or I may even be mad at myself wondering how I ended up getting caught. If you liked what you saw, go to our Facebook page, Trapping Time TV, and let us know what you think. Or you can go to our website at trappingtimetv.com.